They may say courage is what you show when you're scared, and that is a reasonable definition. The actual definition of courage is a quality of mind or spirit that enables a person to face difficulty, danger, and pain without fear. People show courage in difficult conditions and in various circumstances. I have seen many people presenting themselves with courage in front of crowds, as I'm doing in front of you. Courage is not simply doing something that you are scared to do. It's a personal challenge. When we commit to do something, then we should not think of how many people are there or what they may say about us. We should stay persistent in what we are trying to do and convey the message with confidence. The most important thing is that if we don't overcome this shortfall, this will become a challenge, and this will always haunt us throughout our lives. I use courage as I have to deal with so many challenges in life. But the most courageous thing I can remember is when I stood firm to fulfill my religious obligations in school and told people about my religion, Islam. This all started when I was in 8th grade at middle school. My parents had already told me about the importance of daily prayers and being a Muslim. I have this obligation to pray 5 times a day. Since one of those prayers fell during the school time, it was a challenge for me to fulfill my faith without affecting my studies. It was a struggle inside me because I wanted to pray, but I was scared too. I talked to my dad for his advice. We discussed about it for a while, and my dad told me how he prayed at his job and how he went to his boss and explained to them our religious obligation. Just listening to my dad gave me that hint of courage. I decided to request my teachers to give me a place where I would pray. I went to my teacher's room to explain my requirement. It was surprising to know that the teachers were interested in learning why we have to pray every day. The teacher told me she had no problem with it, but we had to ask the office. So the next day, I brought my dad and he talked to the administration, and they happily allowed me to pray in school. The next day, I happily prayed before class started and felt so relieved that I had faced the challenge with bravery. It was a really big achievement for me, and there was another obstacle that I needed to overcome, and that was a Friday prayer, which is also an obligation, but once a week only. After praying for a while, my parents and I decided to take me to the Friday prayer. Once again, we asked my teachers, and they happily agreed, with the commitment that I complete all my work that I had missed. Soon everyone started noticing why I was missing a little bit of class on every Friday. They came up and asked me questions. I explained to them about Islam and why I had to pray 5 times a day. I also told them about the different pillars of Islam, such as Shahada, which is the oath for accepting Islam, Salah, which is the 5 daily prayers that we pray every day, Zakah, which is a regular charity to the poor, the Sawm, or fasting during the month of Ramadan, and the Hajj, which is the pilgrimage to Makkah. I noticed that some people were interested in learning a little bit more about Islam, and some people who had negative views changed their views. In high school, I saw a lot of negativity about my faith, but I ignored it, thinking that it shouldn't be over. I suffered almost every day being called a terrorist, but soon the conditions got worse, and I was called words that I had not expected. One day while attending a local masjid, I learned more about inner courage. I focused on what the talk had been about, and decided to act upon it. The next week, I went to school. They were still making fun of me, so I gathered up my courage and went to them and explained to them about the true Islam. I explained to them why I pray, why I fast, and why I am a Muslim. I stayed there for a good 10 minutes explaining, clarifying their views. After those 10 minutes, I walked away with my friends. The next day, I walked past those guys. They smiled at me. It started a nice conversation. They explained to me about how they had learned information about my religion, and that they had no idea about. I also smiled at them and started a friendly conversation. I soon ended up my freshman year of high school, and from that point on, nobody made fun of me and no more negative comments. I continued praying every day and have never missed a prayer during my high school career. Like I said, courage is not simply doing what you're scared to do. It's a personal challenge. When coming up to do something, you should not think of how many people are there and what they might say about you, but rather you should think that you can do this, because if you don't do this challenge, this will haunt you during your life.